So I'm just starting some dinner tonight, and I've got these ciabatta rolls, and what I'm going to do, I've got some tandoori chicken in the oven, and I've also got some halloumi, and I've just made up some garlic butter just with some light, well, it's garlic clover light, so some clover light, some garlic and some parsley. So I've made that up. I'm going to cut the ciabattas. These are like the part baked ones, so they need to go in the air fryer or in the oven. I'm going to cut them open. I'm actually going to spread them with a little bit of garlic butter before I air fry them. And I thought that would make a really nice coating for them. I think you do this with Nando's, or they do this in Nando's, or people have done it, I don't know. Anyway, I've done it before, but so I'm just going to spread each one, and if there's any left over I might brush a little bit on the top. And then I'm going to put halloumi, chicken tandoori thigh, sandwich it together, maybe some sweet chilli sauce, something like that. That sunshine's hitting the plate, lovely. So this is our buns pre-chicken. So I've just cooked the halloumi. The buns have actually been in the oven because I had too many to put in the air fryer. So they've come out nice and crispy. And then I've just put a little bit of smoky barbecue sauce on the top. Don't know if that sun's making it difficult to see. Yeah, I've just put a little bit of halloumi in each and some smoky barbecue sauce. Dog's doing her snore as usual. On top of this, we're gonna have tandoori chicken thigh. Close that up. Maybe lettuce, don't know. Sometimes lettuce is more trouble than it's worth because everything slides. And then, yeah, some chips on the side. Here we are, served up. And this is what it's for dinner tonight. The boys are having too. So I'm just about to pop tonight's dinner in the oven, and I've made a pasta bake. Well, I haven't really made it, to be honest. I've got 2 of the packets of tortelloni from Aldi. So this is the one that's on the shelf, not in the fridge. I think it's about 99p a pack. And I've got 1 cheese and tomato and 1 3 cheese. And then I've just parboiled that for like 3 or 4 minutes. I think you're supposed to do it for like 6 to 8. And I've got 2 packets of that in there. And then I've put 2 of these pasta bake sauces. It's upside down because I'm letting it drain to the bottom. And they are tomato and bacon flavour. I've got those in Aldi as well. I've popped in some frozen peas. I have 1 smoked sausage left in the fridge, so I've chopped that up and that's in there as well. And now I've grated some cheese, and I'm just about to put that on the top and pop it in the oven. I also got this today from Aldi, so it's just a cheese and garlic flatbread, and it was 30% off, so I'm going to serve that with it as well. And I will show you it once it's all done. For now, let's just cover this cheese. This is one of the easiest meals to make. It's so good. It tastes like you've put a lot of effort in when you really haven't. It's like a filled pasta bake, and it just doesn't take much effort at all. I've also saved a little bit of sauce because there was quite a lot, so I used 2 jars. I've saved some in here, and I was talking to my son and he said, rather than pouring it over the pasta because you've got enough on the pasta, why don't you save it and then heat it up? And then when the pasta bake's ready and you've dished it up, put some more sauce on. Because he's right, whenever you make pasta bake, it does dry up a lot in the oven and it's not very saucy. Sometimes they come out a bit like you can almost like slice it. So he's like, serve it and then add the sauce on top. So I thought quite smart coming from a 12-year-old really. So that's what we're gonna do. So here is the pasta bake out of the oven. It's actually been in there longer than it was supposed to because I'm waiting for one of my boys to get home from college, and his train is a little bit late, so it's got nice and crispy on top, but it still looks really, really good. The garlic bread is done as well, so I'll show you it once I've popped it in some bowls. So here we are served up with the garlic bread. I've got the extra sauce in the microwave, which I'm going to see if anyone actually wants, because I don't think everyone will. And yeah, this is what is for dinner tonight, tortelloni pasta bake. So I'm just making some dinner for tonight, and in here I've got some sweet potato that I've chopped up into like discs. Then I've put some fresh coriander in there. This is the pot that I chop it from. I've got 3 of these on the go, so I try and rotate like which one I take the cuttings from. But it does come back quite well, and it's lasted ages. I bought 1 and then somebody told me to split them into 3 different pots. So I just keep turning them and use this one. So this one will now go to the back, and then I'll use the next one, and some of this will grow back. So really, really good idea, and I love having fresh coriander. So I've got that. I'm also going to put some cayenne pepper and some lime juice in with these. Then I'm just going to seal the bag and leave it until I'm ready to cook them later. So they're probably going to go in the air fryer, and I'm going to do chicken and some mango with it as well. But I just thought I'd show you my little marinating station. So cayenne pepper, lime juice, coriander. Let that soak in and put some salt as well, and it'll hopefully be really, really nice later on. So here is our salad bowls. I've just toasted the mango in a hot pan, and we've got some tomatoes, we've got our sweet potato in the lime and coriander, some cucumber there, and then our fajita style chicken. And then I've made a yogurt mint dressing to go over the top, and I didn't know which one looked better, so this one I've put the dressing over the sweet potato as well. So yeah, this is what we've got for dinner tonight. So in here I've got some potatoes that I've started off in the microwave, and now I'm just crisping them up. I think they look pretty much like, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to do potato skins. In here I've got some gammon and some chopped onion, so I'm just letting that crisp up a little bit now. And then I'm going to scoop out the inside of the potatoes. I'm going to add some seriously strong like cheese spread, the onion, the gammon, and then I'm going to put it back in. And then I think I'm going to top it with grated cheese, and they can go in the oven a bit later on, and we can serve that either with some salad or some baked beans. So I've actually used some of this fajita seasoning on the gammon as well, because I know that's going to make it quite salty, but we're going to really dilute it down with all the potato and the cheese spread. So it's not going to be like just concentrated fajita seasoning, but I was already using this packet for seasoning some other chicken, so I thought I'd chuck the rest in there. And here are my potatoes all chopped open. I've just burnt my fingers several times doing that. I don't know why I don't wait till they cool. I never do. Very impatient. So what I'm going to do now is scoop out the middle, but not all of the middle. I'm going to leave quite a chunk around the edge, and then I'm going to mix it with the gammon, the cheese spread, pop it back in, grate some cheese on top, and then that is that side of dinner pretty much done. So here are the potato skins served up. This one is for my eldest, so he's also having a sausage on the side. And we've got some baked beans in a little dish. The potato skins, I just mixed the gammon with the fajita seasoning on it, some of the potato, and about half a tub of seriously strong cheese spread, salt, pepper, topped them with cheese, put them back in the oven. And then I've got some of the inner potato left, which I've put in a bag, and that will go in the freezer. And then I will use that in like a soup or something to thicken it up. And yeah, this is what is for dinner tonight. So for tonight's dinner we have got corned beef spaghetti. We call it corned beef spaghetti even though it's actually pasta we're having it with. This is literally the easiest meal you can make, and it's something that my dad used to make a lot when we were younger, and the reason my dad used to make it is because it was cheap. Corned beef used to be 39p a tin, and all you need is a tin of corned beef, a tin of peeled plum tomatoes, and a stock cube. That's all he used to put in it, plus like half a teaspoon of Marmite. And that's all I've put in here. I've also added a squirt of tomato puree, but you can literally just do it with a tin of tomatoes, a stock cube, and a tin of corned beef. Mix it together. The corned beef will kind of mush down into a mince, almost like a mincy texture. And then you just serve it with pasta or spaghetti. And like I said, we used to have it because it was a really cheap meal, and it's such a good flavour. It's so nice. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. It's now actually become a bit of a luxury meal because tins of corned beef can be as much as £3.50 each, which is absolutely ridiculous. I got mine in Lidl and it was £1.99. This is a perfect dish if you go camping because you don't need to refrigerate anything. So you can take your corned beef, your tomatoes, your stock cube and your pasta, and you don't need any space in the fridge or the cool box. So something we often have when we go on holiday, like if we travel down to France, if we book a villa, we'll often take this with us so that we've got the first night's dinner. And even if we've sat in a car for like 10-12 hours, there's nothing that's gonna have gone off because it hasn't been in the fridge. So it's a really good travel one. If you're going somewhere where you're gonna cook, obviously, you know, you're not gonna take it on an aeroplane, but you know what I mean. If you go camping, if you go to like an Airbnb. So anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit of grated cheese on this and stop talking before it gets stone cold. And this is what is for dinner tonight. So for tonight's dinner, we have got homemade Scotch eggs. I overboiled some of the eggs, but not the others. Got some homemade kimchi and some salad. We have this a lot, but it's one of our favourites. Keeps us really full, and yeah, this is what we've got for dinner tonight. So it is actually 8:26 in the morning and I'm just prepping some dinner for tonight. We're actually going out and I want it ready for when we come home. So I've chopped up some chicken and popped in 2 different curry sauces. I think these were the Patak's lentil, like vegan curry sauces. I've had them in my cupboard for a while, so I mixed 2 together and I just pop those in with the chicken. So I'm going to let that reduce down a little bit and then I can just heat this up later and cook some rice, and then that's that done. I've also put a note on the microwave saying potato things to remind me that I've got some little potato curry things to go with the curry tonight, so that's that. And then I've also just made some pork. I suppose they were going to be meatballs, but I decided I'm going to do flatbreads with them, and I thought the like kofta style size would be better, so I suppose they're like fat sausages really, and they'll go in the flatbreads better because meatballs are obviously just going to roll out and that's going to be a disaster. So in here I've got pork mince, so it's 400 grams of pork mince. I've got fresh mint from the garden, so loads and loads of that, probably about 12 big leaves of mint. I've got 100 grams of feta cheese, and then probably about half, maybe a tablespoon of this sumac. Basically I just used what was left in there. This is like a citrusy kind of seasoning, and I've mixed it all together and I'm going to air fry these a little bit later. There's also about 5 fresh green chilies chopped up. They're not very spicy ones, which is why I've done 5. So these can go in the fridge with the lid on and they'll be ready just to air fry for like 10 minutes or so later on. I'm just about to get cracking on the flatbreads and I'm actually going to cook those and then leave those in a bag and just reheat them a little bit later as well. And then when we get back tonight, everything's going to be ready pretty much, and dinner will take like 10 minutes instead of an hour. So yeah, it's nice to get all the prep done, everything tidied up, and then we can go and enjoy our day. So I also decided to make some flatbreads to go with our pork and feta like koftas. So I've actually put some fresh coriander in these ones. Normally we just use the self-raising flour and Greek yogurt. These I've added a little bit of fresh coriander from the garden, and I'm just going to cook them. They take a couple of minutes on each side. They look really, really good actually. I can't wait to eat these. I haven't had breakfast and I'm really, really hungry. So a couple of minutes on each side. You can do them in any pan. We've got a griddle one, and then you just flip them over. They are amazing. I've heard from lots of you that say you make them like this all the time now and don't bother to buy flatbread or pita bread or naans. You could definitely dip these in a curry, and yeah, they're just really, really simple to do. Just pretty much dry fry. I put a few sprays of oil for the first like time when I put it in, but when I turn it over I don't respray. I just respray a couple of sprays, maybe 3 for each one I do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let these cool. I'm going to cover them in foil or like cling film, and then I'm going to put them somewhere, microwave or something. And then later I'm going to heat them up. I'm just going to give them like 30 seconds, obviously without the foil, in the microwave. So that is our 2 dinners prepped for tonight. Boys are having curry with rice and little potato curry things. And then Steve and I have got flatbreads with pork, sausagey koftas and some salad. And I'm going to make a dressing. So here is our pork kofta kebabs served up. So I've just put them in the air fryer. This is actually one cut in half because they're actually really huge. So I've got flatbread with the coriander in, some mayonnaise, I've got some onion and some, is it lamb's lettuce or romaine heart, something like that, and some little red jalapenos. And then our feta and mint pork kebabs. And that is what we've got for dinner tonight. And I just thought I'd show you how I'm serving it. So I've wrapped mine up. Steve's got 2 of the breads with his, but I didn't want to. I didn't think I'd eat both. So I've just put my other one on some, oh, it's got a stray bit. My other one on some lettuce. And that way I can always leave it if I don't want it. And I'll just put it in a tub in the fridge. And I've got some cayenne pepper and some light mayo. And this is what it's for dinner. Again.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.